the CEO of IntelliCheck and IntelliCheck.com. Really interesting stuff because this is the intersection of cybersecurity, fraud reduction, and identity theft reduction, and it's all in one place. And Bryan, I have to ask you, let's get straight to it because we've sort of identified the problem. And sort of the way to get around the problem. But what does your solution do there at IntelliCheck? Because you actually have proprietary technology that can usurp almost all this stuff for our border agents, for our police departments, for the bouncers at the front door at the at the restaurant, for the people taking checks at the grocery store. I mean, this is an enterprise-wide solution. Talk about what you guys do.
So we deliver our product several ways. For that bouncer at the bar, download it onto their smartphone, and they can be making sure that everybody coming in is 21. Same with vaping products. We know the problem that we're having with teenagers and vaping now. They can download it to a smart device, immediately be checking if IDs are real. For the financial services, particularly credit cards being issued and use in banks, we integrate into their point of sale system. So the same device that they use to ring up your purchases, if you're going to apply for credit, they use the same scanner, scans the ID, immediately tells them if it's real. If it is, it parses all the data and sends it off to speed up the application.
It's process. Funny. It's funny you say that because I was not applying for new credit, but I got offered a credit line increase on one of my cards, which I never do. But I thought, you know what? Because I heard that if you let your cards go stagnant and you don't use them, that it could hurt your credit. You got to like keep stuff going. You either got to use them or you got to upgrade. So what they did though is they knew, obviously they sent me the email, they gave me the phone call, but before they did anything, I had to take my driver's license, I had to scan it and send it to them. So I think you're on the front line there. How does it work exactly without telling us how the sausage is made? What's the secret sauce here for you guys?
It's basically the code that we've written over the years to know all the intricacies of that barcode for that particular jurisdiction. So the US, Canada, and most of Mexico. Wow. That is scanned, sent to our servers for authentication, and we send the result back. And as a company, we don't retain any of that personal information. So all that PII is wiped out of our system as soon as we send the response back. We give that data to our clients for their use, but we don't keep any of it.
I have to believe that this is going to help government agencies, not just financial services and such. Am I correct with that?
Yeah, definitely. There's all the programs that are, trying to authenticate who you are when you get on an airplane. Visitor management, like I said, we're used at a lot of secure facilities. We're used at some of the visitor management systems in this New York City here to make sure you're who you say you are when you're going into a building. Anywhere that you need to be sure that the person that you're dealing with is exactly who they say they are, this is the technology you should be using, because 14.4 million Americans had their identity stolen last year. And I don't see this going away given the amount of breaches that have gone on. We saw a 20% spike in fraud attempts in Q4.
What? In just one quarter?
That's a direct result of the Equifax leak. Accenture's done studies and they say that it takes 12 to 18 months for data to be sort of, seasoned before they sell it for fraudulent use. And that coincided exactly with the holiday shopping season in Q4. So in store, we saw a 20% increase. Online, we saw an 82% increase in fraud attempts. So people trying to use somebody's identity to, buy online, pick up in store, and again, leave you holding the bag with the problem.
By the way, so interesting here, and you can get so much information by going to IntelliCheck.com. That's IntelliCheck.com, and Bryan Lewis is the CEO. We're going to definitely have Bryan back because he's, without his knowing this, he's now our cybersecurity expert. That's good. And I told him on the break, we're going to need you about 6 hours a week for different programs. Let's talk about the fact that you mentioned that we're just scratching the surface on identity theft real quick before I let you out of here. It seems like we've gone a long way. Are we really just scratching the surface?
Yeah, I think we are. People are starting to realize that there's a problem and that there are now simple solutions. For a long time, people didn't, they were, in a way, they were looking for shiny new toys. You mentioned biometrics. They work if you're willing to register your biometric in some database. And
if you're not,
the last vestige of what I have. My data, I just got alerts all my data was just sold. There were 5 major package data
See, look,
sales on the
here's the deal. When the CEO
Yeah.
of the cybersecurity firm gets his data sold, you realize that's where the problem is. Hey, Bryan, we're having you back, man. I really appreciate it. Intellicheck.com. By the way, they are publicly traded, the stock symbol IDN. You don't have a barcode on your global entry card, do you?
This is Global. It says right here, it's me, Bob Sullivan.
Big show.
Second, man.
We got a great story coming up for you. Our friend Bob Babbitt and co. coming up.
Whoa!